Okay. All right. I think we're live. Welcome to Fake Guru, guys. You all know why we're here. We have the man of the hour, Caleb Maddox. I want to take a second, Caleb, if you don't mind, to explain sort of how we got here, and then
Yep.
we can go from there. Just real quick, I didn't realize until we're already live. Can you grab some headphones real quick? Or can you get somebody to grab you
I
headphones?
don't actually have a pair of headphones.
Okay.
So hopefully everyone can hear me.
Yeah, no, I'm just worried about the feedback. Maybe Welcome to Fake Guru, guys. You all know why we're here.
Yeah, you got headphones?
We have the...
We'll throw some headphones in, bro. We'll make it happen. Yo, first thing I want to say, bro, I really appreciate you taking time to do this, like doing it live. Hey, I love there's going to be no editing, no cutting out on both of our ends. I'm not editing anything. In fact, I'm not even recording this. You could literally do whatever you want to this thing, and so it be. But I love that it's just live, and we're going to have a conversation. And, you know, honestly, a lot of people that I've talked to, there's a lot of people that love you, by the way. I've gotten so many messages of people like, yo, this guy did a video about you, and they now hate me, which I don't really mind. That's why I'm doing this, so I can clear that up. But okay. I think it's unbelievable the audience you build, number one. So there are a lot of people that love you. There's also a lot of people in the space that I know that are not fans of you, obviously, because like you said before we even clicked record, because you cost them a lot of money. But I want to say, I personally have nothing against you. I really think the fact that you do what you do is very admirable, because I understand there are a lot of people in the space that are fake gurus that don't know what they're talking about, and the courses they have don't actually impact people. And I can tell even before I just asked you, what's your life mission? Because that's my mission, is to help other people get to their life mission. And you shared it's just like, I want to basically expose the industry so I can make sure people are safe. And I think it's admirable.
Hold on, Caleb. Hold on. Let me interrupt. All right, and let me take this. I said it's something I want to do on the side. I mean, I don't want to do this forever. As I said, Coffee Break is my main channel.
Until you're exposing the industry.
Right. No, I just want to say what I have to say, because I saw an industry that is unbelievably predatory towards people who don't know any better and don't know the sales tactics that are being used. And I appreciate the kind words, by the way, but we don't agree on everything. And in a lot of ways, I think you do the same things that I accuse a lot of people of. That's why we're here. Let me give some context to the audience. So the reason we're all here is I made a video about you where I said, I've made 2 videos. I want to cover the sales call. So I made a video when you were 14 years old or 15. You made this video called the $10,000 Sales Day. In it, you have this sales call that's recorded where you allegedly close a $10,000 deal. And anyone who wants to go watch that video can watch it. I have a lot of issues, and we'll get into that. But the second thing we talked about was your YTA Method course. Okay, so this is something that you launched recently. And in it, you make some wild claims. Like, this is the kind of claims that I'm talking about that I hate in the industry, and I'd like you to explain where you fit on them. And I want people to hear you out, because you call it the greatest opportunity of our era. You say, I can say that with full ethics, you know, all this stuff.
And I can.
But it turns out that the greatest opportunity is basically like repurposed Copypasta Reddit videos made by Fiverr people. So where do you want to start?
Let's start with that, because that's one of the reasons I want to hop on here, because I saw that you said in the video, and once again, I said you do have a lot of people that definitely follow you, because I got a lot of messages of like, you're doing scammy Reddit videos, and they told me exactly kind of what they thought. That's not at all what I teach. In fact, if you look closely at the masterclass, not a single time do I even talk about repurposing content. What I talk about is OPC. And what OPC is using other people's channels to learn from. It's modeling. This is a thing that has changed my life. I believe there's power in patterns. So if you look at the YT Masterclass, not a single place, and you can go watch it. I'll give you free access. If you want to do a follow-up video after actually having access to it, I'm happy to do it. Not a single place do I ever mention repurposing content. The only evidence you had about repurposing content was that Devin, who I've partnered with, I'm writing a $100,000 check to create the YT Masterclass with me. You said that he has a Reddit channel. That is just one of the channels he has. He owns dozens of channels, and just one of them is Reddit with that one voiceover that's kind of like automated completely. If you go look at a single person inside of the YT Masterclass, I believe there's one person that has a Reddit outside of Devin. So that's the first thing I would love to clarify, is not a single time do I ever talk about repurposing content. What I talk about is using OPC. And this is actually something, like, my goal for this interview is I want to impact people. This is something I recommend for anyone that's like, you want anything in life, you need to use other people that have already gotten that thing. That's why I say there's power in patterns. For me growing up, I wanted to impact millions of people. So I looked up to people like Tony Robbins, and I studied what they were doing, how they did what they did, and I did that. I wanted to have billions of dollars, not so I could just be rich. but so I can use that capital to change the education system. So I studied Warren Buffett, I studied Bill Gates, I studied billionaires so I could learn from that. And for me, that's been one of the ultimate skip buttons of why 18 years old I'm a multimillionaire, I've done the things I've done, is because I've studied the patterns of great people. You want to be a great basketball player, study Kobe Bryant.
Okay, let me. I wanted to let you finish. In the last, I'm still learning to do these interviews and stuff like that, and I try to strike a balance between. I don't want to interrupt you, but at the same time, sometimes things go off on a tangent. So the reason Devin having Reddit channels is relevant is because you hold him up as an example of the YTA being a business opportunity. Let's be clear. The business opportunity is not learning to copy other people who are successful. That's the most obvious basic self-help thing that you learn, like from Self-Help 101 is learn from other people. It's like what humans do, pattern recognition. Your real opportunity is YouTube automation and saying it's such a good opportunity. And that specifically is a niche that you're like showing people how to do. So that's why it's relevant that Devin, and it's not one channel. I showed one of his channels because I didn't want to show all his channels, but I have a list of them if you'd like to hear some of them. Can I read off some of these for you?
You can. He has multiple channels, but he has dozens of channels outside of that are not related to Reddit. So here's the thing. When he's bragging about how much money he's making, he makes this video about how he's making all this money. The examples that he chooses to use are all Reddit channels. So Reddit Shack was shown. Reddit Watchers was shown. Reddit and Chill was shown. Sir Reddit was shown. Bamboozled was shown. Dr. Reddit was shown, right? Like these are, it's not one channel. It's like dozens of channels because repurposing Reddit content is like a wave that you could have ridden if you got on it early on. The problem is it's being demonetized because this kind of lazy content, YouTube doesn't want it on their platform. And the truth about YouTube automation is this. You can't get a super high quality following, super high quality product without having a personality behind it that's actually giving in effort. So when people just say, oh yeah, it's so easy, you can just hire people out, hire them from Bangladesh, Thailand, India, whatever, and you don't have anybody actually leading the creative side, it's not a recipe for success like you're saying it is and like you're representing that it is. And that's why I think it's this big sham, because you're saying, hey, the YTA method, look at this guy making a ton of money. But the way he made a ton of money is back when you could make tons of money on Reddit videos. And as I showed you, what he's talking about is making him tons of money are Reddit channels. So would you like to respond to that? I totally understand. Yeah, definitely. First things first, you are correct. When he first started out, the first things he did was using Reddit. That was some of the first videos he did. He's completely gone away from that. In fact, a lot of his channels are going to be completely shifting from Reddit. Why? Because YouTube is cracking down on the ease to create content. To me, that's not any type of defamation of his character, because in the end of the day, if you can have a video that's way easier to create than other videos, that's the one you're going to choose. So Reddit videos are extremely simple to create because you literally don't even need someone to do a voiceover. You can have a machine do it. You just pull a bunch of Reddit stuff. It's easy to create. Now all of Devin's channels, he's no longer creating Reddit-specific channels. In fact, inside the YTA Masterclass, I specifically tell people with Devin not to start Reddit channels because you don't want content that is too easy to create. So with that, Devin, yes, he made a lot of money with Reddit. I'll agree with that. A lot of his channels were that. Now Devin has literally in my head, I have 5 channels that he had outside of Reddit that are still making him money. In fact, he launched a channel 3 months ago, and in the first 2 videos, not in the Reddit niche, the first 2 videos that he launched, where one got, I think it was 4 million views, and the next one got 1 million views. He did it completely automated. It wasn't in the Reddit niche, and he blew up that fast. So for me, and I understand you say you can't make money unless you have some sort of personality in front of the camera. I understand where you're coming from, but what about Brightside, Watch Mojo? What about all of these YouTube channels that do exactly that?
Okay. A few things here. A few things here. Okay. Nobody would argue that there are a few channels that exist out there that happen. But what you just admitted, I want you to understand this. What you just admitted is, look, you used all this proof on your webinar that you can make so much money. You can make so.
The proof in the webinar was not used from purely Reddit channels. In fact, the one I showed was one of his newer channels.
A lot of it was because they were just Instagram videos. They were taken straight from his Instagram story. Okay.
Also, there was dozens that weren't. But what's the proof?
No. The proof is this. You just admitted where he made most of his money was Reddit back in the day, and he's having to shift away from that.
And amount of money.
you never explain to the audience. Don't you think it's disingenuous to never explain to the audience that the way this guy made the majority of his money that you know of, the majority of his money is through a system that no longer works? And that same thing,
the majority of his money through that.
The same thing may happen to future niches, because ultimately this low effort content, it gets phased out. And like, that's why he's having to move away from Reddit, is because you try to do something super, super low effort, try to reuse third-party content, and it's not copyrighted content, but it is third-party content. And when you do that, people just, you don't build up a following. You don't, it's just this super temporary, short-term, like try to ride a wave while you can. And maybe Devin's good at it, but is it at the opportunity of our era? That's ridiculous, dude. You got to agree that's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. And here's why. First things first, Devin has multiple channels outside of the Reddit niche. Hey, brother, I'll make a deal. I won't cut you off. You notice I'm not cutting you off. I'm waiting for you to end. I did the exact same thing. Let me explain. All right, my man? Here's how it's going to go. Devin has channels in niches outside of Reddit that have 5 times the subscribers that you do on your YouTube channel with your personality that people seem to love. Mm-hmm. Not only that, Devin has dozens of friends who do the exact same thing as him and follow the exact same method. And it's not easy to create content. In fact, we teach people the right way to go hire a voiceover actor, the right way to go hire a scriptwriter, the right way to do all of these things to where they produce content that people enjoy watching, and to where they produce content that isn't just easy to create. It's automated, but there's a difference between automation and easy. When the CEO of a company like Amazon has an entire, look at Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos will have an entire company start up underneath him that he did not put a single piece of effort into. Now, was it easy? Was it simple? No. But was it automated for him? Yes. You see, the key is to get people under your team that put in the amount of work that most people do on their YouTube channels, and you automate them completely. And that's exactly what we teach. And if you went through the YTM Masterclass, and not just the training, which, by the way, I will fully stand by, it's the greatest opportunity of our era. Look at during one of the #1 recessions in our lifetime, the #1 recession we'll ever come across. What Ray Dalio, the multi-billion-dollar investor, believes is going to be a Great Depression. YouTube views in the past year, even throughout all this, YouTube in the past year, they have doubled. If you look at how much they made revenue last year, and you look at how much they made this year, they have paid out more money to creators this year than they made in all of revenue last year. And for me, is it what I believe is the greatest thing ever to do? No, for me, I believe I want to impact millions of people. I believe the greatest thing for me is going to be the fact that I'm going to change the education system, which I want to dive deeper into. But I believe it's the greatest opportunity of our era, because it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter how your voice sounds, it doesn't matter where you're from. There's people in Africa using this, there's people in America using this. And all of those people are taking advantage. In my opinion, it definitely is the greatest opportunity of our era. And it's not just one person. There are dozens of people that are doing exactly what Devin. In fact, there are hundreds and hundreds of people doing exactly what Devin does. And if you don't believe it, you can go on YouTube, and if you scroll for 5 minutes, which I assume you do if you are a YouTuber, you put out content that people enjoy, I assume you at least go through YouTube a little bit. If you go through YouTube, you will find hundreds of completely automated channels that are taking advantage of the greatest opportunity of our era.
Okay. Me saying greatest opportunity of our era very forcefully doesn't mean anything. And let me try to run you through the real greatest opportunities of our era. The real greatest opportunity of our era was getting in the ground floor on Facebook, was getting in on the ground floor of Twitter, on any of these tech companies. Trying to get into a saturated YouTube market is the greatest opportunity of our era. It's such textbooks like sales manipulation. And I wanted to ask you, I meant to ask you at the beginning of the, I thought you said you weren't going to interrupt me. Hold on.
But you're shifting over to another topic, and I don't want you to move over, because you just said in a saturated YouTube market. First of all, YouTube gets 1.8 trillion views every single year. To me, that's not saturated. And secondly, it's doubled this year. It is doubled within a year. A company that's already one of the biggest companies in the world, that one of the biggest companies in the world, Google, already owns, it is doubled. For you to call that saturated to me is unbelievable. And I understand to get into the ground floor of Facebook 100%. But there's only a small handful of people that could have gotten into the ground floor. But hundreds of thousands of people, doesn't matter who you are, what your education background is, where you live, or what language you speak, you can take advantage of.
You're just, I hate to say this, you're just wrong. I mean, yes, the more YouTube viewers are on than ever, but way more creators are on the platform than ever. I have a lot. I have a lot of friends in YouTube, and all the time, what we hear consistently is when you see people who got in at like a good time, you see them, their channel's huge because they got in at the right time. People trying to start channels right now, you're never going to become PewDiePie because you started at the wrong time. A lot of these channels, they're big because they started early on. Does that mean you shouldn't go join YouTube? No, I would never encourage that. I joined YouTube late. I mean, it's fine. You can make an income. But is it the greatest opportunity of our era? Hell no. And by the way, the automation market is getting saturated. I mean, I looked at like the Reddit niche. By the way, Devin still posts to the Reddit niche. He's still relying on that, just so everybody's clear. He's not
relying on that. If you have an asset that's producing you money, you're not just going to completely scrap it.
Okay. What I'm saying, though, is listen. The Reddit niche, if you look at that, it is just pumped full of content because people realize, oh, this is a super easy niche to get into, and it was at a certain time. So now just waves of text-to-speech automation are going in. It was a much better time to get in early on. Now it's worse. Just because you can say, oh, it's double the views, somehow it's a great opportunity. It's just not. And this kind of sales speak drives me insane because every single guru's out there, I hope you know every single guru's out there saying, this is the greatest opportunity. No, this is the greatest opportunity. No, this is the greatest opportunity. And honestly, none of them are that great because people try them out. And guess what? For 90 to 99% of those people, it doesn't work. Let me ask you a question. Do you think lying while selling is ever justified?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. So,
and also real fast about the Reddit niche, once again, I totally agree. That's why we said inside the YTA Masterclass not to do it. But during the gold rush, when one vein of gold was saturated, they didn't say the gold rush was over. They went and found a new vein.
Yeah, but you know who made most of the money during the gold rush? The people saying what a good opportunity.
Early, when it was doubling every single year. Those are the people.
No. The people selling the shovels, the people selling, hey, you guys want to know how to make all this money? Look, the opportunity of our era. Go mine this gold. Let me sell you a $997 shovel. Go sell. Hey, guys, it's the greatest opportunity of our era. Look.
Do you actually believe that the people who made the most money back in the gold rush were the people selling shovels?
I think they made the most money consistently. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. People selling supplies. Look. Do you think the people making the most amount of money on YouTube is not YouTube itself? Like, do you think it's not Google, the platform? The platform for these things is always going to make more money. Of course. That's just that, and that's the economies of scale. Like Amazon, it doesn't really. It's a platform. It's a platform for people to sell through, and they're saying like, yeah, this huge e-commerce gold rush. The real gold rush is being Jeff Bezos right now.
Oh, I agree with that. But that doesn't mean that someone shouldn't take advantage of it.
No, and that's not what I'm saying. So
the greatest person for the opportunity is Jeff Bezos. But it doesn't take it away from being the greatest opportunity.
No.
In fact, there's people making hundreds of millions of dollars a year off Amazon.
Hold on.
Jeff Bezos, although he's worth over $100 billion, he's made $200 billion plus from Amazon. He's also provided $800 billion worth of other wealth. So yes, he's the wealthiest, but that doesn't mean someone shouldn't take advantage of that opportunity.
Okay, yes, and I want to be real careful here. What I'm not saying is that YouTube automation doesn't have a place for certain people who want to pump out content. I've never said that. You said it's the greatest opportunity of our era, which is patently ridiculous. No, but you just can't say that. I mean, that's like you saying this one video is worth more than college. Anyone can just say something, but if it's not true, if there's no evidence you can pull out that that's true, then how can we believe you? You have one guy who's making some money, good amount of money, I'll grant you, but it's not crazy amount of money. It's not like 8 figures kind of money. It may be 7 figures, I don't know, but it's not 8 figures. I mean, it's like a decent amount of money. This is not like some incredible market. It's just not. I mean,
8 billion creators get paid out every year. Sorry, $8 billion get paid out to creators every single year.
Okay, how many creators are there?
So you're saying one person.
But how many creators? How many
plus dollars a month?
Okay, Caleb.
But there's another
how many creators are there, and how many of those creators are using the YTA method, as you say, right?
Every one of them.
No. Of the 8 billion creators getting paid?
For example, this is one of the things. I would agree they're not all using it. Because a lot of people do create themselves. I'm going to retract that, and I'm going to say for the first time on this, I agree I was wrong just by saying that. So let me retract that.
Okay.
What I mean is the YouTubers that win the most on YouTube. Number one, the friends I have. My friend who makes $60 million a year plus, he has his channels fully automated. Yes, he's the one in front of the camera, but he has his channels automated. He's not doing the editing. He's not doing any of that stuff. And that's what we teach inside of YTA. Even if you want to be in front of the camera, that's why we have celebrity automation as a bonus. Even if you want to be in front of the camera, you can do that. But to us, it's the automation part. And one of the most valuable parts about YTA is the science of virality, showing how to actually go viral on YouTube. That is the most valuable part, even outside of the automation part of things. And here's one thing I also want to say. I understand you could think it's a scam. At the same time, people invest $1,000, but there's one thing that you're forgetting to say. I'm not scamming a single person out of $1,000. You want to know why? Because within 5 minutes of someone not liking what they thought, they can get a full refund on that money with no questions asked. We will fully refund them. So if someone gets in and they invest $1,000 and they don't like it, they say, you know what? I didn't get results with it. They get their $1,000 back and they lost nothing. But if someone gets in, they invest $1,000 and they go out and they follow what's inside the masterclass and they go get a few 100,000.
Hold on, I'm trying to look up your. Hold on. I'm trying to look up your refund policy real quick.
It's a 30-day refund policy.
A 30-day refund. Okay, so here's the thing. You can't really test these things that fast. I mean, first of all, great for you for giving a 30-day refund policy. I'm glad that people do that. But when you're saying that this is the greatest opportunity ever, and then the language towards people who are buying this thing is like, oh, if you didn't succeed, well, you just must not have put in the work. You just must have not done enough.
I didn't say that. You know what we do? I went and recruited someone from Ritz-Carlton. You know how they have some of the best customer experience on the planet. I went and recruited someone from Ritz-Carlton. And what they did, I brought them on just to wow our members. So if someone says they didn't get results, we don't go, oh, you're not doing enough. We go, what questions can we answer for you? What can we ship to you? What can we get in your hands? And we do everything with our team.
You say that you don't say that, but there's a video of you floating around where you say that poor people are poor because they, quote, pass over opportunities repeatedly. So you say I don't tell people. Hold on. You say you don't tell people that it's their fault when they don't succeed, but then you call poor people passing over opportunities repeatedly. Poor people are passing over opportunities repeatedly.
I don't tell people on YouTube automation that it's their fault if they don't succeed. I don't tell people that.
You just tell poor people that.
But I will say no. I say to everyone, if someone is YTA, I believe they took advantage of the opportunity. It's our job to get them results. But I believe every single person who doesn't get results and they don't have success, I do believe it is 100% their responsibility. And you know why? Because it's someone like Oprah. She was abused. You look at her backstory. She was poor. She was abused. She was an African-American woman in America. Yet she grew to the point where she's a multi-billion-dollar businesswoman and one of the #1 TV hosts of all time. And you see, I believe that's one of the #1 problems with the current education system and everything is that they make people believe that somehow they can't win. The only reason I've done what I've done in my life is because I was fully certain that I would do that thing. And I obsessed on getting there. I sat down with Arnold Schwarzenegger, looked him in the eye, the multi-million-dollar movie star, greatest movie star of all time, highest paid actor, but one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, and the governor of California. And he would say the exact same thing. So I understand where you're coming from, but I guess everyone can't understand greatness. And I've always believed small-minded people will never understand big thinkers.
Okay. All right. Well, I would just like to tell you that that's maybe the worst take on poverty or environmental factors that I've ever heard.
How many mission trips have you been on, sir?
Caleb, listen to me right now.
Sir,
if you don't think, my name isn't Sir, it's Steven, but I appreciate your deference.
My dad raised me to call everyone, sir. I apologize for being respectful. My dad took me on over 54 mission trips when I was younger. Okay. I was in streets with people, little kids, who had no pillow to sleep on. They would sleep on the floor. They'd be crying and I'd be holding them in my hands. You know what I'd be thinking every single time I did that? I need to create something that ends suffering for people like this. So when you sit there and say that I don't care about people in poverty, clearly you did not see the way I was raised and why I do every single action that I take.
I didn't say that.
People think that I'm motivated to make money. What they don't understand is I will wake up in the middle of the night with tears streaming down my face because of kids that are suicidal and the thought that I'm not there to them yet. I'm fully motivated, not by making money, but by collecting the resources I need to be able to impact those people.
Okay.
And see, for me, the #1 reason why I do everything I do, why I launched YTA, why I do everything, is because I understand that I have a moral obligation on this earth. And I'm not going to let some guy on YouTube that's named CoffeeZilla stop me from getting messages from kids that say I'm the reason they didn't commit suicide. You see, you did a video on me when I was 14 years old telling me not to make sales calls or whatever it was. What you don't understand is that exact same 14-year-old kid was responsible for thousands of kids' lives being better, for kids that didn't commit suicide. And I understand you're trying to point out fake gurus, and I respect that. But when you have someone messaging you saying that they didn't commit suicide because of you, that's the moment I'll put you in my own category.
Are you saying that never happened?
What do you mean?
I get fan mail all the time. What are you talking about? And by the way, hold on. Let me talk now.
I'm not talking about
you did
fan
your
mail
monologue.
Where someone cries because they're excited to meet you. I'm talking about fan mail where someone cries because you changed their life.
You did your monologue, and I understand that you're super impactful and yada, yada, yada. Do you understand what you just said, though? The irony of what you just said? You said, my dad took me on all these trips when I was young. Okay, that is already like this thing that shapes who you are and gives you a perspective, an advantage on life over all these other people.
Right about that.
So for you to say to me that, oh yeah, if you're poor and you stay poor, well, it must have been because you passed over opportunities because Oprah, because Oprah. That's so ridiculous. It's just creating trying to attribute a simple solution to a multifaceted problem. And no offense, I think it's indicative of how young you are that you think that such a complicated problem as poverty can be fixed. I'm 26. So
you believe you have more life experience than me? You got 8 years?
I would say that I objectively have more life experience than you, and I also don't think I have all the answers.
Experience. I said more life experience.
Right.
You believe that?
I mean, yeah, like just objectively.
You want to go back and forth on this?
No, I'm not trying to have a dick measuring contest with you right now. What I'm trying to do is explain to you that you thought you had the answer on poverty 3 years ago.
I didn't have the answer on poverty. If you read the description, I said this does not apply to people in third world countries.
No.
I have the answer for Americans that wake up every single day.
But what I'm saying is that you thought when you were 16 you had poverty figured out. That's what I'm just saying.
No, I never said that.
That surety is ridiculous, man. I don't think I know. I fully understand how poverty works, but I'm not going to pretend like I do. And I don't think you should be either.
I don't have the solution for poverty yet. I would agree with that.
No. But you think, you understand why people are poor. And the reason they're poor is because they pass over opportunities repeatedly. And you're standing by that.
I understand why people are poor mentally. And that's exactly why. What? Because they wake up every single day not realizing the opportunity they have. And yeah, sorry to get all motivation on you, but that opportunity is called life. And I totally understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. You said that I'm only successful because of my dad. I already had an advantage. I 100% agree. That's why I created something called Apex for Kids, to instill in 100,000 plus kids, 100,000 plus students, exactly what my dad instilled in me. So you're right when you say I'm only successful because I have my dad, but that is why I have such a strong moral obligation to do what my dad did for me, but for millions of kids.
Let me clarify. I don't think you're just successful because of your dad. I think you're successful because you're operating in one of the sleaziest industries imaginable, and you're taking advantage of a lot of people.
Impacting kids?
No, taking money from people under the way too much money from people under the guise of giving them basic self-help stuff that they could find in a book for $10.
Does a restaurant take money from people because they give them food?
Yeah, of course.
So why do you think I'm taking money from people? Do you think they take money unethically?
No. Because there's a clear exchange.
So then why am I unethically taking money?
Because you say that that automating Reddit videos is the greatest opportunity of our era. And you're charging $9.97. You're charging $1,000 for a concept that's so simple that it can be explained in 10 minutes.
$1,000 that makes people $100,000. And have you ever gone through the Whitey Masterclass? I'm curious.
Oh my gosh.
Have you gone through the masterclass? I'll give you a free login. You can go through it.
Sure, you can give me a free login. I've watched the person who goes through it by hand.
You're like a food critic who's criticizing a burger you never eaten before.
No, I'm like the guy who found your guru, and found all the channels that he's bragging about, and they're all Reddit videos.
I'm not a guru. I'm a visionary, my man.
No,
Gurus give advice. Yes, I do YTA, but every single day of my life, I'm working on creating something to change the education system. What you don't know is behind the scenes, most people, all they do is be a guru online. Behind the scenes, I'm creating an AI that literally is going to learn kids. Because here's my mission. I believe the current education system is too one-size-fits-all. That's the problem with the current education system. It takes people through this assembly line. It teaches them the exact same thing over and over and over and over again for kids that are vastly different, for minds that are completely the opposite. So I'm creating an AI with my business partner, Ryan, that where kids don't just learn, but we learn them. Where the AI figures out the way that kids learn so that we can instill the right things in their mind. So for me, I'm not a guru. If you knew the things I were, my goal is not to have viral videos. My goal is not to create some internet marketing product. My goal is to impact all 8 billion people on Earth.
By creating a revolutionary educational AI with your partner?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I mean, I wouldn't really either.
It's shocking. It's shocking. Well, I do want to. I don't want to stay on this topic forever. I want to get away from YTA method. I feel like we talked about that a lot. I feel like we all have a lot to talk about from there. I mean, we talked.
And by the way, if you guys want to join the YTA method, it's learnyta.com/.
Oh boy, don't do that. Don't do it, guys. Unless you want to sell Reddit videos, boys.
Who would you? No, seriously, because I understand where you're coming from, CoffeeZilla. You're 26-year-old, have a fantastic YouTube channel, which I respect. By the way, you are applying a lot of the principles inside of YTA. So I have respect for that. If you guys want to learn the principles that's made CoffeeZilla blow up on YouTube, learn YTA.com/live. But on top of that, I understand how you don't think I have life experience. But all I would put up against you, amount of people impacted, the amount of money made. Like at the end of the day, I understand where people are coming from. But like to throw the whole life experience thing on me, bro, I understand you're 8 years older than me. We'll see where I'm at 26 years old.
No. It's not about. It's not just about like, oh, I'm trying to say that because I'm older, I know better than you. I'm saying that you don't even know what you don't know. I don't think because I know that I don't know the answer to poverty, and I don't expect that there's a single answer to what makes people poor.
Everyone put in the comments, did you hear me say, in quote, I don't know the answer to poverty? We can roll it back. That's why I wanted no editing on this thing.
Okay, right. And they can watch the video which you're defending, which is saying that if you're poor, it's because you pass over opportunities repeatedly, right?
Which I believe, and I said poor mentally, and I said not for people in third world countries.
No. Also just poor people, though. Not poor mentally. Like you just said, poor people.
And I believe that. Dude, if you're in America and you were poor, that's why I do everything that I do. But I believe that if you're born poor, it's not your fault. If you die poor, it is. It's called the American dream. I lived in a Sunday school room at 7 years old. My dad and I had $7 to our name. His car got repossessed. We had to bike ride every single day to get food, and I had to bike ride to school. I've seen kids who grew up in shelters. I've talked to people who are worth $100 million that were once homeless. This is America. If you're born poor, it's not your fault. I'm here for you. If you die poor, it is.
I'm just a little sad. I mean, let me be clear. I'm not saying that the only reason for being poor is environmental. I'm saying it's a multifaceted problem that's way over your head and it's way over my head, and it's absurd that you're trying to pretend like you have
to poverty.
Okay.
I don't know the answer.
So let me ask you. That sales call. Speaking of things that you did when you were a little bit younger, and I wanted you to give you the opportunity, by the way, to kind of renounce that poor statement. I thought you would, because you are older and presumably wiser. Okay, well there it is. But I also wanted to ask you about your $10,000 sales call, right? Or that you would admit that that's fake, right?
Here's the story.
No, just say yes or no, please. Yes or no.
You not want the answer?
Okay. What's the answer?
Okay. I literally did a sales call at 14 years old. I closed a $10,000 deal. I ran in the other room. I said, Dad, I closed a $10,000 deal. I told him exactly what I said word for word. And my dad was like, dude, you should have recorded that. I was like, no, I know, dude. I wish I would have gotten on video. I would have uploaded it to YouTube. I'm going to announce this on CoffeeZilla because once again, I said, so I'm going to say a few times on this interview, I was wrong. I refilmed exactly word for word what I said on that sales call to a T. It was a close I used a lot when I was 14 years old. And I refilmed that video and uploaded it to YouTube. So congratulations.
Okay. All right. I mean, people can decide whether they want to take your word on.
But if people don't think I'm good at psychology, rewatch this interview.
Okay. What do you mean good at psychology?
We can continue the next question.
Okay. All right. So I want to ask a few questions from the audience. I asked the audience to give me some questions about you.
But I'd love to read the comments. I can't see them, but I hope everyone's doing well.
Did we get any super chats? I would love to know if we got any super chats so far. Hold on. Let's see if we got some super chats. Jeez. I can't tell. Okay. I'll check this. If you guys gave a super chat, thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't get to it.
Here at 1:45, just so you know, at 1:45, I don't have to get.
You dip at 1:45. What time is it?
It's 1:34, my time.
Oh, you got 10 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, dude. Okay. Well, oh, shoot. Okay, guys, we got 10 minutes left. Okay, we've covered the YTA method. You still think it's the greatest opportunity ever, despite literally almost every other opportunity being better. Let's see here. Goldie asks, why don't you do the YTA method yourself and earn from it rather than selling a course about it?
I do.
Okay. What channel is it?
I'm not going to tell you my automated channel, but I will tell you my YouTube channel. I just started uploading 3 days ago. I've uploaded 3 brand new videos. So it's youtube.com/CalebMaddox.
Okay. All right. But, I don't know what to say here, but, and I don't mean this as a dig at all. You don't have a lot of followers, so if you're applying like the virality that you're talking about, it's not working. By the way, that's not a bad thing, because I don't think life is about views or anything like that.
I understand that, by the way. Actually, let me address that real quick. So I'm 3 videos in. I've uploaded 3 videos.
Okay.
One of the big things we talk about YT is it's compound. So here's what we'll do. We'll do a follow-up interview in 6 months. You'll see where my subscriber account's at then. That'll be fun. Secondly, I haven't just applied the virality method to YouTube. I applied it to Facebook. And that's how I had a video that reached 40 million plus people without spending a single dime on it in dozens of viral videos. So the viral method actually does work. And that's why Devin uses it to 10x your subscriber count per YouTube channel.
Sure. Okay, let me ask you this.
And also, I also understand I'm not purely an expert at YouTube. Yes, I've been around people with 20 million plus subscribers. Yes, I've had videos on Facebook that have reached 20 million people. Yes, I've leveraged social media to reach millions of people, not just reach them, but impact millions of people, which is my goal at the end of the day. But that's also why I dished out $100,000 of my own money to have Devin, who has had dozens of channels, get 100,000 subscribers, while I had him also teach it with me, because I understand that I want someone actually that knows specifically YouTube to apply that. And I learned a lot throughout the process, and that's why in 6 months, you'll see where my subscriber account's at.
Okay. So I want to ask you this. Do you feel like people are getting cheated with these get-rich-quick schemes?
I feel like a lot of them, yes.
Okay.
I told you that before the call. That's why I really.
What makes you different from other gurus?
We get results.
Really? And nobody else does? Or most people aren't getting results, but
if they get results,
your program's special?
If they give them results, I wouldn't call them a scam. Another thing I have a problem with is when people charge, but they don't offer a refund policy. That's why we give a 30-day refund policy where you can leave without theoretically spending any money. So worst case scenario is if you spent nothing. Best case scenario, I'm literally providing for someone's family because of what I taught them. In fact, we had people 3 weeks ago got laid off for their jobs. They've been consistent at for 10 years straight, got laid off their jobs, and now under their YTA channel, they employ 5 people underneath them and are already having videos that are getting tens of thousands of views within 3 weeks. That's what makes us different. It's results.
Where is your refund policy? I can't find your refund policy. So
if you watch the entire YTA training, it didn't just skip through it. It's in there. You would have seen it.
Yeah, like a lot of these gurus, they'll say they have a 30-day refund policy and they won't actually give people their money back. I hope you do know that's a thing that happens, right?
I do know. That's why I said I'm not a fan of every single person in this space.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's hard for me to deny that also people who I've talked to, kids, young people, people in general, that their little lives have been changed because of it. Like, I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for the gurus, the fake gurus I looked up to. Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield, Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez. Those people shaped who I am. So
I think everyone can tell.
There are a lot of people in this space. There are a lot of people in this space that are scams. But to me, that's why I don't consider myself a part of this space. I'm not a guru. I'm a visionary. There's a difference.
Okay. Okay, you're a visionary. Got it.
And that'll become very clear in 10 to 20 years from now.
Maybe it will. You know, we'll have to see. I think if you keep selling courses, you'll make a lot of money because there's a lot of money to be made in selling courses and ripping people off. I've had a lot of people come on the show and talk about.
There is a lot of money to be made to rip people off. Good thing it's not what I do.
You say that YouTube automation, making Reddit videos, is the greatest opportunity of our era.
Once again, I really feel like you continue to bring up the Reddit video, and that being your only thing on this entire interview you have to say.
Well, it's just funny that in his own thing where he's talking about like how he made his money, he shows like 7 different channels, and they're all Reddit channels, and we're supposed to just take for granted that, oh, yeah, there's, oh, no, he's got so many other channels that are the real thing. He doesn't rely on Reddit. These are that's just ridiculous. I mean, you can't deny that that's some pretty compelling evidence, right? Like all seven of the channels that were accidentally shown that he was bragging about were all Reddit videos. You can't deny that's pretty.
He started with Reddit videos. Since then, he started channels with basically no capital up front, and they've gone actually more viral than even the Reddit channels did. And I covered that in the beginning. So if someone's missed this entire interview, make sure to watch it over again because we covered a lot today.
Yeah, we have.
And once again, YTA Masterclass says do not start a Reddit channel because those currently aren't working. Back then, of course, you want to take advantage of that opportunity. That's why we tell people to have entire YTA networks of channels, entire YTA empire, not just one channel, but a dozens.
Let me ask you, do you track how many people succeed with your program?
Yes, we do.
How many people succeed with your program?
Well, first things first, we just launched 30 days ago. So our team is tracking testimonials. A lot of people are in the stages of automating their channels completely, hiring people. But we've had a lot of people that have already gotten a good patch of viral videos. But I don't know the exact number of people that have gone viral, quote unquote. But we've had the majority of people who have joined YTA already have their channels in place. In fact, our online, we have a place that we post up our job posts. It's called Online Jobs PH. So many people have applied YTA, not just bought the course, not just bought the masterclass, but have applied what is inside the YTA masterclass. So where the CEO of Online Jobs PH reached out to us and said that we're maxing out the server. Now, the funny part is I don't share about Online Jobs PH until 70% into the masterclass, which means that the far majority of the people that are inside the YTA masterclass are getting past 70%. So we have one of the highest completion rates of any masterclass or any course in the entire industry.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. So you said that it's unethical to lie while selling, right? And you believe that.
I agree.
Why is it that you say your webinar is live when it's not?
When I first filmed the webinar, it was live.
No, I know, but you know as well as every guru knows that the webinar, most of the webinar is not live. The one you put up is not live.
Why are you saying that this video is live when someone's going to watch on the replay?
I'll change the description. And by the way, every component of the video it'll be very clear that it's not live. Gurus, including yourself, make it appear as if their video is live because they want to deliberately deceive their audience.
Was it clear to you that our video wasn't live? You could have brought it up right now.
Yeah, because I know the industry, Caleb, but don't pretend like the average.
So someone's going to be watching this in a week, and they're going to know this was recorded. This is not live in the current moment. They're going to know it was recorded. It was live during the moment of recording. I don't see how it's any different.
Because you deliberately create a webinar. You say, hey, we have an upcoming event. We have an upcoming live webinar event. Then in the thing, you say, hey, leave your comments in the chat box, and I'll see if I can answer, blah, blah, blah. And then on top of that, you build the webinar out such that it looks live. You don't pretend like you're not trying to deliberately make people think it's live. You are. When it's not. And you said that you don't think that lying while selling is ethical. So how do you square those two?
Yeah, we don't say that it's live deliberately. We use a live recording, and now it's evergreen. So people watch that live recording. I filmed 3 hours of my life spending time creating an unbelievable masterclass, or webinar that's already impacted millions of people. Hundreds of thousands of people.
Do you not see how what you're saying, though,
I'm not going to read it every time. And also, we do actually answer the comments live. So the actual recording itself isn't, but the comments are.
Do you understand how you're trying to I get what you're doing, and if you said you try to use psychology, that's what you're doing. You're trying to justify this, but you came in this conversation, and I assumed you're going to come into this conversation being reflective and honest. And I don't think it's very honest to pretend like what you're doing is not deceptive. Can you agree it's deceptive?
Not deceptive.
I want to come to an agreement here.
It's not deceptive.
You don't think live webinars, putting all this time and energy into making a webinar look live, appear live, all the language is coded?
We didn't make it look live. We used a replay. And on the page, you can say it says free training. So I don't understand how we repurposed a video that was live and then we answered the comments live. I don't understand how that's an issue, but I understand that's the only basis you can now come to at the end of our discussion.
Free sign up, next class starts today. That doesn't imply that it's going to be a live webinar. And then it says checking availability. It's no. Listen. I feel like you're being deliberately obtuse here. Like when it says that you select a date and then these are the dates that you can choose from for the webinar to appear.
Yes, we want people to get notified. That way they don't miss it. So if someone wants to watch it tonight or they want to watch it in 15 minutes, we allow them to do it. It's the way we get the most people to watch our webinar. And if people are being impacted by what we're putting out there, why wouldn't we want as many people as possible to see it? Now understand that, because you don't understand the motive behind it is impacting people.
Oh, okay. So this is a little bit different from what you said. You said at first that lying was never justified. Then you said, well, if it makes people pay attention, why wouldn't we do it?
It's not a lie. You asked me why we have it where they can select the time. It's not a lie. I'm saying the reason we allow them to select time is so they find the time they want to watch it. It isn't a lie. And in fact, the fact that out of all these fake gurus you expose, your only premise at the end of our conversation is that we recorded a live webinar and used it as a replay, the same way we're doing right now on this stream at this exact moment. That to me, I don't understand where you're coming from.
I think you're being deliberately ignorant to where I'm coming from because you don't like the result and how it makes you look. Because I think you could watch the chat right now. You could watch what people say about this. You are being deliberately ignorant of the fact that it's obvious what I'm doing. While it's live, I say it's live. Then I take away the live from the description. And also, there's a timestamp that's very clear that it is not a live thing. It's very obvious from my YouTube video that it's not a live thing. You are deliberately crafting. You are deliberately crafting.
My team's let me know. I do got to hop off because it's past 1:45. But let me clear this up once again.
Sure.
I filmed it live. We use as recording. We're getting as many people as possible to watch it so that we can impact them. Not a single part of that is a lie. I remain in integrity, but I understand where you're coming from. I really appreciate your time today. And if anyone does want to join YTA, go to learntoYTA.com/live. If you want to let me know what you thought about this, you can message me.
Don't do it. I don't like people pitching on my show. I don't like people using my platform to pitch on my show.
I look forward to you guys joining this movement and being a part of the mission to change the education system.
Oh my gosh.
And thank you so much for everyone who supports me. You're making a lot of kids happy. Thank you so much, brother.
Have a good one.
And genuinely, keep being out of the place that you're coming from, because I understand, although to most people it appears as hate, from you it's the perspective that you share.
Well,
one thing I've always said,
the people that I expose see it as hate. The people who are saved money see it as a very good thing.
The people that you expose, who those people have also changed millions of people's lives, those millions of people's lives that they have changed see you and hate you. That's all I'm saying. It's not the gurus that hate you. It's the people who look at the people that you're exposing, quote unquote, and their life will never be the same because of them. Their life is better, and you're exposing them as a fake guru. That's who gets you. Hey, bro, I really do gotta hop on. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate everyone in the chat. I'll see you guys later.
All right, Caleb. All right, guys. Well, what did y'all think? Any final comments? I'm reading chat here. Let's see here. I'm not a guru. CoffeeZilla protects his undefeated record. Da da da. Get to bed, Caleb. Sweet dream, Caleb Jobs. Sorry, guys, if I didn't get to any of your super chats. Let me try. I see Lori Burba says Celeb 19 exposed. Let's see. Do we have anything else here? All right, that's all I see for right now. Guys, I'll get off. I'll say that this, I don't know. I think this went pretty much how I kind of expected it to go. I was a bit surprised that there wasn't more of a, he didn't kind of concede some of those points. I thought he would, but anyway, I guess you'll be left to make up your own mind, which is how I like to leave it anyways. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys later.